back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the 4-job Fiesta for T&V Small Critter Rescue. Last episode, we ended up visiting the Castle Circuit, which is the home of Zeza, one of the Warriors of Dawn, and we learned that he's staging an assault on Exdeath's castle by sea. So we fly the Hiryu over here, we can land on his command ship as we were told at his castle, and that's what we're going to do right here, right now. And there is Zeza. Well, this is a Galuf. Zeza, long time no see. This is Dorgan's son, T&V, the son of Dorgan. And these two are of a royal family on the other world. I am Zeza the swordsman. Not King Zeza? No, I think King just doesn't suit me well. Yeah, really, same here. And they have a hearty laugh together. Can we get into Exdeath's castle? Sure, we have everything perfectly planned out. For now, let's go inside and rest. We're going to learn, though, that this fleet is actually a big diversion. So, if we break just one of the 4 towers, the barrier should disappear. Tells us to go inside and rest. The barrier's gone. We're going to attack Exdeath's castle. The fleet is a decoy if we buy just a little bit more time. If you talk with your Hiryu, you can take off on the Hiryu and fly around if you want to do something on the overworld. Say you missed some magic or something. Equipment you want to pick up. But we're good to go on this adventure, this battle coming up. I feel seasick. Ooh, that's not good. We're digging a tunnel to the ocean floor. And that's basically what this fleet is a decoy for. The real attack is going to come from that tunnel. But before we stage our attack, well, unfortunately, Exdeath is going to stage an attack on us. But luckily, they allow us to take a nap and sleep, and we'll be fully powered for this attack coming up. So, in this battle, you only have to fight one enemy before you fight the boss. There's a few enemies running around, like, tormenting the soldiers. So, I don't know, I just like to fight them, get some experience, some gold, battle points, and, I don't know, it just feels right to save the people from the attacking monsters. So if you go to the room to the left, all the soldiers are already gone. They're all up top here, battling the monsters. Are we up there? Where's King Zeza? Talking with him will start the attack. So, Zeza, what's going on? Enemies are coming. Here they come. So we got that like mini boss up there, we got these little goblins running around, and the attack is being led by good old Exdeath. Already Exdeath. This will be the 3rd time we'll be fighting him. The first time was Galuf solo in the dungeon, and then it was on the big bridge with the full party. Now it's round 3. I'll take this one, don't blow it. So he's gonna fight that guy. We're gonna end up fighting that guy a little bit later on. But if you talk with the goblins, you get into an attack with these gobbledygook enemies. You can learn the Goblin Punch blue magic from them if you want. Pretty late to learn that spell, but better late than never, right? Terrain, because we've gotten a few more levels, we can actually cast the new terrain spell, the Big Tsunami, which is just like the tsunami, but does a little bit more damage. No elemental weaknesses for these guys, so just take them down normally. We get pretty lucky, get quite a few sword dances. Although when we want sword dances against like really tough boss monsters, it seems like you can never get it, so... Yeah, the soldiers just run around, you don't have to save them, but... I just, like I said, I always want to save them for fun's sake. Because the only one you really have to fight is down to the south. There's going to be one gobbledygook standing around, and he's standing in front of Exdeath. He's basically blocking Exdeath's path. So there he is right there. Fight him. Nothing special about him. He's just a normal, run-of-the-mill goblin. So he's not like the boss goblin. The real boss is going to be Gilgamesh. But he's going to have a lackey come with him halfway through the fight. Lackey would be the monster, that abductor-type monster that we saw Zeza was fighting. It's going to be a power swap of the abductor monster, but it's not going to be the abductor monsters. Zeza must be a magic knight like how we are, because he uses swords and he casts black magic too, so... Now, Gilgamesh is threatening to throw us into the ocean. So, we'll use a new magic sword here. We'll use the bio, just to increase our damage a little bit. Doubt Gilgamesh will be able to be poisoned, but we always try anyway. A good thing we got the sword dance there. Now, Gilgamesh, this fight is basically in 2 phases. Basically, we fight him for a little bit here on his own, and then he's going to call his friend Enkidu from the Legend of Gilgamesh. Enkidu was his companion. And then Enkidu, we're going to be fighting Gilgamesh and Enkidu, and we basically have to defeat them both. But Enkidu is a little bit easier than Gilgamesh. He has less hit points, so it's easier to take Enkidu out. And also, you'd probably want to take Enkidu out anyway, because you'll see that as soon as Enkidu enters the battle, the first thing he does is he casts White Wind. White Wind is that blue magic spell that heals a character for as many hit points as they have. So Enkidu's going to enter the battle with full hit points, 4,400 hit points, so he's basically going to refresh Gilgamesh to full. Now, to keep Gilgamesh from hurting our hit points, we've been casting armor on all our characters. Just protects us from Gilgamesh's physical attacks. There's the White Wind, so we want to take care of Enkidu first so he doesn't keep casting that. Seems like he doesn't get the bonus in the back row though, because we still do pretty decent damage to him, even though you think he'd be in the back row, so he'd take half damage. Just concentrate our fire on him. Because like I said, after several turns, he will end up casting that White Wind again. So we'll basically undo all the damage you do to him and any to Gilgamesh. Got lucky there, his missile for whatever reason failed. Sometimes I guess the magic defense multiplier enough to overcome the spell. But yeah, just focus on Enkidu. You could take out Gilgamesh first. You might get a little bit of different dialogue. You actually do get a little different dialogue. But nothing really, important. So we just want to take care of Enkidu, like I said, and he's almost done. He must be a Geomancer too, because he's casting that Wind Slash. But he's not as powerful Geomancer as us, because we finished him off. And there's Gilgamesh's stats there. So it's a slow battle, but like I said, Gilgamesh isn't too threatening. He's not going to be like the second time we fought him on the big bridge, where he's going to cast all those buffs on himself and start jumping and basically doubling the damage he does on us. As you can see, once you have the armor up, you're pretty much set for this battle. Like I said, sometimes he'll cast that missile spell, which reduces your hit points by 3/4. But as you can see, we kind of outspeed him. And with 3 characters with white magic, healing isn't hard. You can easily outpace his damage. Sometimes TNV even does damage and heals himself when there's a jitterbug roulette. So, I was kind of lucky there, getting quite a few big tsunamis. That whirlpool is an instant death, and of course Gilgamesh being a boss. Most bosses have the heavy status, which prevents them from instant death, but there are some bosses that don't have it. So, one of the upcoming future bosses, pretty soon, doesn't have it. That can help with one of our swords that we got is the break sword, one of the magic swords, and basically what that does is it's basically like a stone sword. It turns an enemy into stone. So that's a good way to take care of some bosses that don't have the heavy status. Some enemies, they initially start with the heavy status, but then they change phases. There's a boss later on in the game that does that. It's almost like Bahamut when he's in a defensive stance and then he opens himself up to shoot the Mega Flare. really vulnerable to reflected Mega Flare back in Final Fantasy IV. It's kind of like that. But I'll point out those bosses when we get to them, but yeah, if you, basically, if you, defeat Gilgamesh first, you know, and he basically says the same thing, like, you know, like, Enkidu, like, where you at? You take over, and, like, Enkidu's like, okay, whatever, you know, like, be my trusty sidekick, or earn your pay, or something. But as you can see, we defeated Enkidu first, so he turns around and is like, well, you're already gone, dope. And now Gilgamesh is gone, but he'll be back. Yes, quite a... We'll, fight him a few more times. Right now, we're just, fighting to hold on. But luckily, right when we, lose our grip, the Hiryu comes and saves us. So it saves us from drowning in the water when, Exdeath, caused Guido's, island to sink. And now it saved us when we were, about to fall off into the water. Takes us back to the thing. If you didn't defeat the goblins, they'd be gone anyway. And once you beat Gilgamesh, all the monsters disappear. I don't know why the Hiryu just flies over. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, we've driven away the monsters. They're not too worried anymore. They just seem to be walking around normally. That door up there just leads to a room. There's nothing else. It's just a dead end. It doesn't, like the ship graveyard, it doesn't lead you to anywhere deeper in the ship. King Zeza waits in the room on the left. Yeah, well, we just had a big fight. So we're going to heal up, take advantage of free healing. Taking advantage of quite a lot of free healing. At Kelp Village with the werewolves. Now here. And we're going to get a new vehicle in a little bit. We're going to see this vehicle in just a little bit. And that vehicle is going to have free healing in it. Let's head over to the room on the left, and we'll learn Zeza's master plan. And actually start taking part in it. So, head on in. And there's Zeza by that treasure chest. He tells us to take the other side, go over there, press the A button, and turns out this is a secret passageway to a submarine. That staircase in the lower right, that leads to like the lower level of the submarine, and that leads you to like an inn, basically where you just sleep. What is this? The boats are simply a decoy. We're going to sneak into the barrier tower from the bottom of the sea in this submarine. How clever. We've dug a tunnel through the tower. Let's get going. So this world doesn't have an airship, but it will have a submarine. So, yeah, we traveled above the waves in the last world. Now we're going to be able to travel beneath the waves in this world. Stay back. Like sets a bomb or something. And boom! Blows up entrance into the lower right barrier tunnel. Or the barrier tower. Let's go. He's going to spill the beans. This is a good place if you have a blue mage. There's quite a few enemies that use blue magic in here. You get quite a few blue magic spells in here. We don't have a blue mage, of course, but I'll point out some of the enemies that do use blue magic. So if you do have a blue mage, you can learn this stuff here. He gives us like a walkie-talkie. In Final Fantasy IV, we had like the Echo Harp. Now he just has this thing called the Echo, which in Final Fantasy the after years becomes the Whisperweed Grass. So, and if we try to talk with Zeza, he's like, "Hey, go up to the top of the tower." So the plan is, he's going to disable the power to the antenna, and once that power is disabled, we're allowed to destroy the antenna. So these are good guys to farm wall rings against. Wall rings, basically, they put your character in the auto-reflect status, so that if enemy attacks you with a spell, a non-targeted spell, or a targeted spell, it'll bounce back at them. Really good against some bosses, and we can't buy them right now, so if you really want to farm them, they might make a few upcoming boss battles easier. but I don't think I'm going to farm any, so it won't be necessary. So I want to make a save there, not because I want to end the episode, but because there's a really tough enemy coming up here. Now, it could be one of two enemies. This treasure chest we're about to get, not the first one, but the second one, is going to be guarded by a monster, and it can either be a red dragon or a yellow dragon. Both are pretty tough, and so there's a chance that, you know, you'll get wiped out in battle. So you want to make that save so you don't have to fight, you know, the whole Gilgamesh fight over again. So, let's head over here. These neon enemies, the ghosts, they can teach you the flash spell, which you just did right there. That's the one that blinds you. We could have learned that way back in the North Mountain. The Traveler, if they're by themselves, can use a spell called Time Slip, which kind of ages, basically has to age on you. And then there's two other enemies that have spells in here. So we'll grab this chest here. Let's remove the blind status on us. We could use an eye drop, but we're going to use a tent after this anyway to heal up, so. And we get a red dragon here. We got like a 50 chance, a red dragon or a yellow dragon, so. This guy's bad, he hits us with that atomic ray. He has a lot of weaknesses though. So, we have the ice, which is good. We have a bunch of people who will cure, but even then you'll notice that we're not going to be able to keep up with his damage output. So toward the end I just go all out offensive. So, Galuf, of course, going to be our main damage dealer here. So basically 4 hits of Galuf should take this guy out. But unfortunately, unlike the Atomic Ray in Final Fantasy IV, which tended to be based on the amount of hit points the enemy had left, this Red Dragon's Atomic Ray is just going to keep being strong and taking off like 500 to 600 hit points off everybody it hits. So eventually it gets to a point where I might have one more hit on him and I'm like, well, I can't really revive everybody. But ends up happening all the experience and all the AP is going to end up going to Galuf, which is okay because remember Galuf is a little behind on AP and job points because remember in that one section, even though he had a solo section by himself, his solo section was much shorter than the solo section that, or the section that TNV, Lenna, and Faris had together. They had those 3 boss battles and they had to get adamantium to return to the go to Galuf's world. So they had 3 bosses to gain AP. So it's not going to mess things too much up that Galuf only gets the AP in that battle. He got lucky there. That elf cloak saved him. Otherwise, that critical hit would have knocked him out. And it would have. That's why it was important to make that save beforehand. Because if we didn't get lucky there with that avoiding that critical hit, then it would have been game over. And as I showed off earlier in a previous episode, when you game over, you end up starting again at the last place you saved. So it's always important to make saves. So, and we're going to make a save right here, heal ourselves up, because we have quite a few more floors to head up before we reach the antenna at the top of the tower to destroy it. So take care, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next episode where we continue up this tower to destroy the antenna on top. Have a good one. Bye!